Bobley opens the car door. Nyla steps out while talking on the phone. Nyla, speaking in a busy tone on the phone, says, Yeah, I've arrived. I'll talk later. She gestures to Bobley. Tie this around my stomach. Bobley says in surprise, Ma'am, what are you doing? Aren't you going on a blind date? Nyla responds playfully, Oh, this is my own decision. You force me to go on blind dates every day. This time, I just want to joke around a little. Bobley says disapprovingly, If you do this, people will definitely ignore you. Nyla suddenly becomes serious and says, No, I can't do this. Bobley asks in a worried tone, What's wrong? Without saying anything, Nyla runs off. Jack walks confidently and says proudly, Max, tell me, this time my aunt introduced me to a very beautiful girl. At that moment, Nyla bumps into Jack. Nyla says politely, I'm sorry, sir. I'll come back after I finish my work. Jack says harshly, Sorry, crazy woman. What kind of person is she? Max, I'm telling you, don't let me see her again. Max explains calmly, Oh, forget it. Even with that stomach, she still apologized. You're still going on the blind date today. Max stops and points. Look at that girl. Is that her? Jack looks from behind, impressed. He walks closer and says softly, Hello, beautiful. Are you the one Aunt Wang introduced? Bobley starts to speak, but Nyla steps forward and says cheerfully, Yes, that's me. Bobley says seriously, Yes, she's the one you're meeting. You can talk. I'll leave first. Jack says angrily, You again? Luck is completely against me today. Nyla replies calmly, It's just a coincidence. By the way, we were college classmates, right? Jack says bitterly, After all these years, and you're already pregnant. Aren't you ashamed? Max tries to mediate and says, What a strange coincidence. Fate really is strange. Jack says with hatred, This is bad luck. Even after graduation, you're still the same. Aren't you embarrassed coming to a blind date like this? Nyla says sadly, I didn't have time to dress up. I've heard you've come a long way. Jack says proudly, Don't joke around. I'm now an executive director at Lin Group. Nyla smiles and says, Oh, Lin Group. Jack says arrogantly, Without my recommendation, you couldn't even get in. We only hire elite, respectable, educated people. People like me. Nyla says calmly but firmly, Yes, but you're not good enough for me either. Jack is shocked and says, What? Nyla says in a strong voice, Your salary isn't even enough for one of my meals. And by the way, I approve payroll for Jiang Group. Jack says in disbelief, How is that possible? Bobley runs over. Boss, there's an emergency at the company. We need to leave immediately. Max whispers, Do you understand now? She's the chairwoman of Lin Group, your boss. Nyla smiles and says, Yes, I hid my identity on purpose. I wanted someone to like me not for my status, but for who I am. Jack grabs her hand and says, Please forgive me. I liked you back in college. Nyla pulls her hand away and says, People like you, no matter how rich or powerful you get, will never earn my respect. Jack says helplessly, We were old classmates. Nyla says, But your arrogance destroyed all our memories. She reaches toward Max and says, Nice to meet you. Jack angrily pulls his hand away and says, What is going on? Nyla says, If I don't like you, am I not allowed to like your friend? Nyla takes a deep breath and asks, So, would you like to be my boyfriend? Jack shouts, If you two get together, no one will ever bless you. Nyla says, Whether we're blessed or not is not for you to decide. I'm sure many people will want to see us happy.